For months, everything pointed to one thing. Apple TV 4K was supposed to launch in 2025. Leaks lined up. Sources agreed. Timelines made sense. And yet, here we are. The year is over. No new Apple TV. No announcement. No quiet press release. Nothing. So the big question is simple. What actually happened behind the scenes at Apple? And why did a product that seemed ready suddenly disappear from the roadmap? If you've been following Apple leaks closely, this delay feels strange. Multiple reliable sources suggested a new Apple TV 4K would arrive before the end of the year, possibly alongside updated HomePod minis. The story looked solid. Apple had the hardware. The software was evolving. The smart home push was clearly happening. And then December arrived, and everything went silent. At this point, it's safe to say Apple is done releasing hardware for the year. That shifts the entire timeline forward, and now all eyes move to early 2026. But this delay might not be random. In fact, it could be intentional. When you look at what Apple is preparing across its ecosystem, the pieces start to connect. The new Apple TV is not just a streaming box anymore. It's becoming part of a much bigger smart home strategy. And Apple doesn't like releasing products that feel unfinished or disconnected. From the outside, the next Apple TV 4K is expected to look almost exactly the same. The familiar small black box stays. The matte plastic finish remains. Apple clearly sees no reason to redesign the exterior. And honestly, it doesn't need one. The current design already disappears into entertainment setups, which is exactly what Apple wants. The real changes are happening inside, where it actually matters. One of the biggest upgrades coming to the next Apple TV is Apple's own wireless chip, known as the N1. This is a combined Wi-Fi and Bluetooth chip that Apple recently introduced with its newer devices. For the Apple TV, this is a major shift. It means faster connections, better stability, and lower latency. The N1 chip supports Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and Thread, which immediately tells us Apple is future-proofing this device. Wi-Fi 7 is a big deal, even if most people don't fully realize it yet. It allows data to move across multiple frequency bands at the same time. That means more stable streaming, fewer drops, and smoother performance when your network is busy. In theory, Wi-Fi 7 can be several times faster than Wi-Fi 6, but in real life, the biggest benefit is consistency. 4K HDR streaming becomes more reliable. Cloud gaming feels smoother. Apple Arcade games load faster. AirPlay becomes more responsive. Bluetooth 6 also brings improvements. Lower latency matters more than people think. It affects controller response time, audio syncing, and even how quickly devices reconnect. For an Apple TV that supports gaming, wireless headphones, and HomePod audio, these improvements add up. Then there's Thread. This is where Apple's smart home vision becomes clear. Thread allows smart devices to communicate more efficiently and reliably. Apple has been pushing Thread quietly for years, and adding it to the Apple TV turns the box into a stronger home hub. Lights respond faster. Sensors update instantly. Automations feel seamless. This is not about entertainment alone anymore. Powering all of this is expected to be a big chip upgrade. The current Apple TV runs on the A15 Bionic, which is still fine, but it's aging. The next version could jump all the way to the A17 Pro. That's a massive leap. The A17 Pro was Apple's first 3-nanometer chip. It introduced hardware-accelerated ray tracing and a powerful GPU. In simple terms, it means console-level graphics on a tiny box under your TV. This matters because Apple is serious about gaming on Apple TV. Apple Arcade keeps growing. Developers need more power. Better graphics attract better games. And with an A17 Pro, Apple TV could finally feel like a casual console replacement for many households. Games would look sharper. Frame rates would stay stable. Heat management would improve. But the real reason Apple may have delayed this product could be software. According to multiple reports, the next Apple TV is expected to support Apple's next-generation Siri, powered by Apple Intelligence. This is not a small update. This is a complete rethinking of how Siri works. It understands context. It handles complex commands. It integrates deeply with apps and services, and Apple may not have wanted to ship in EW hardware before this software was ready. Think about it. Apple TV is one of the most voice-controlled devices Apple sells. If Siri is not ready, the experience falls apart. Releasing a new Apple TV without the new Siri would mean launching a product that immediately feels outdated. Apple hates that, so delaying the hardware until the software is mature actually makes sense. There's also another rumor that keeps floating around, even if it may not happen this generation. A built-in camera. tvOS already supports FaceTime. You can make video calls on your TV today, but only if you connect an iPhone or iPad. That setup works, but it's not elegant. A built-in camera would change everything. You could sit on your couch and start a FaceTime call instantly. No extra devices. No cuerpo positioning. Apple has reportedly tested this internally. Gesture controls were even mentioned at one point. Using hand movements to navigate menus or control playback sounds futuristic, but Apple is known for experimenting years ahead. Even if this feature doesn't arrive now, it shows where Apple TV is heading. At the same time, Apple is expected to launch new HomePod minis alongside the Apple TV. The current HomePod mini uses a chip that dates back to 2019. That's ancient by Apple standards. The second-generation HomePod mini is likely to get a much newer chip, possibly based on the S9 or S10 architecture. This would bring better performance, faster Siri responses, and more advanced computational audio. Sound quality could improve. Responsiveness would definitely improve. Siri would feel less delayed. And with a newer chip, Apple can support more complex smart home tasks locally, without relying on the cloud as much. However, interestingly, reports suggest Apple may not include its N1 wireless chip in the new HomePod mini. Instead, it might stick with MediaTek hardware to keep costs down. Apple seems to be reserving its custom wireless chips for more premium products like Apple TV. This tells us something important. Apple TV is being positioned as a central, higher-end smart home device. There are also rumors about a second-generation ultra-wideband chip coming to the HomePod mini. If that happens, device handoff becomes much more precise. Your iPhone could detect exactly where you are in the room. Music transfers instantly. Automations become smarter. The whole system feels more aware. New colors are expected too. Apple always refreshes colors to create excitement. Red has been mentioned as one of the test options. Whether it makes it to production is unknown, but Apple loves using color to refresh interest without changing the design. All of this points to one conclusion. Apple didn't delay the Apple TV because it wasn't ready. Apple delayed it because everything else wasn't ready yet. The new Siri, the smart home ecosystem, the HomePod updates, the rumored Home Hub device with a display. Apple wants these products to launch together, not separately. From my perspective, this is the right move. Apple TV has the potential to become far more than a streaming box. It can be the brain of the modern Apple home, a device that handles entertainment, communication, automation, and intelligence from one place. Rushing it out in 2025 without the full experience would have been a mistake. If the leaks are accurate, early 2026 could be a turning point. A faster Apple TV with Wi-Fi 7, an A17 Pro chip, next-generation Siri, and deeper smart home integration would instantly become the best streaming box on the market. Not because of flashy features, but because everything would finally work together seamlessly. This delay is frustrating, but it's also telling. Apple is playing a longer game here. And if they get it right, the next Apple TV won't just be an upgrade. It will be a reset. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Apple made the right call by delaying the Apple TV? Are you excited about the A17 Pro chip, the new Siri, or the smart home upgrades? Or do you just want Apple to release it already? If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with other Apple fans, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future leaks and updates.